Hey guys, welcome back. Today we get to talk about Chris DeGarmo and Queensryche in this solo to The Mission from Operation Mindcrime. I think this is one of their most underrated tunes. It's got everything from the atmosphere of the clean intro to the driving rhythm section and this killer melodic, tasteful solo that also has a couple of fun, fast runs in it too, just to challenge us guitar players. So Chris DeGarmo, one of the original members of Queensryche, obviously a big part of that chemistry of the early Queensryche group with Michael Wilton, Chris DeGarmo, Eddie Jackson, Scott Rockenfield. And for me, that's the classic lineup. Those are the albums that I listen to the most. I love what the new Queensryche is doing with Todd LaTorre, and I also think Jeff Tate's band is really good too now. But those first 5 or so albums is where it's at for me for Queensryche. And this tune here is, like I said, a great tune, and the solo is particularly a good example of what Chris DeGarmo brought in terms of his soloing skills and his compositional sense, not just for the songs but also within a solo. It's a little composition within a composition, I think. So I'm going to show you how to play this cool solo in a second. But before we do that, I've got a few things for you to check out in the description below. There is the tab for this, my handwritten tab that you'll get with all the notes and the frets and stuff. So hopefully that'll help you if you have any questions about where to put your fingers. Also, I've got a free sweep picking guide called Sweep Picking Boot Camp, and it's full of great arpeggio ideas and ways to get started with sweep picking and different examples with video and tab and the whole 9 yards. So it's my free gift to you. It's a no-brainer to check it out. Go ahead and download that in the description below. And finally, for you HeadRush users, I've got my trusty HeadRush board here, and this rig, I will also, the rig I'm using to play the solo, I'll make that available for you guys as well. Alright, so without further ado, let's get cracking here. This is in the key of E minor, and you think E natural minor for most of this. And we're going to start out by sliding up to the 9th fret on the G string. Okay, so this is the first phrase. This note comes right in before beat 1. You'll hear it. It's just barely before beat 1, but it's landing on 9th fret, and then apply vibrato to that. So that's our E root note. Okay, now we have 7, 8, 7 on the B string. Just hammer that on from 7 to 8 and then pick 7 again. Vibrato. Slide from 9 to 4. Now, one thing you want to notice is the dynamics of this. It comes in relatively quietly, so. So you don't want full-on metal assault here. Think dynamics. Gain-wise, if you're not using HeadRush, you're not using a rig like this, just you know, a little delay and a fair amount of gain, but make sure it's not over the top or fizzy or too much. You want clarity with the notes here. All right. So that's phrase 1. Okay, then we're going to go into the next part, which is 2 on the G string, slide up to 4, and then back to 2 and repick that. So, okay, so then we're going to go 5-7 on the A string, mute that, and then 5-4-5 on the D. So that's okay. So and notice too, I'm ending up with my middle finger here, and I'm going to slide up with my middle finger to the next part. So it's worth checking out how I'm fingering this. I definitely watched some live footage of Chris doing this, and there might be a few little differences between how I do it and how he does it fingering wise, but the notes are the same. So do some experimenting there. So let's see what we got so far. Okay, so that's the next line. So after we go, we're going to slide up with the middle finger to 9th fret on the D string. Then 9th fret G, then back to 9th fret D. Okay, so from here, and then we're going to take the ring finger and slide up to 11 on the G. See that? 9 to 11. Back to 9 on the G, and then 9 on the D. Like that pick harmonic there. Okay, and then after this, so the timing of all this is really important, so listen closely to where these little parts come in. There's a lot of breathing room here on this solo, so that's really important. A big lesson in guitar phrasing, actually. Okay, so that's 7, slide to 9, and then pick the 7 again. So you're seeing this little move a couple different times in the solo. So after this, we're going to gently slide back to 2. So you're just going to hear that 2nd fret on the G string kind of delicately come in. And then we're going to play 4-5-4 on the G. That's going to lead into the fast run, first fast run. So let's play it up to that point. Okay. Alright, hopefully that makes sense. Nothing too difficult here. It's just a matter of control and making sure everything's really nice and clean and articulate. Alright, now the fast run, the first one, this is 16th note triplets. It's going to start with a lead-in note. So this is 8th fret on the G string. And then we're going to start 16th note triplets. That's the whole run. And it's alternate pick the whole way. So what it is after the G note to start with, we're going to play 7, 8, 10 on the B. We're going to play 7 on the high E, and then come back down 10, 8 on the G. I mean, I'm sorry, on the B. So it'd be This entire run is played on the B and high E strings. Now what we're going to do, even though we ended up with this G note, we're going to start with this note, but we're going to make a position shift. So notice the position here with the index, middle, and pinky. Then switch to index on the G note. Start your next group of 6 notes, and it's going to be 8, 10, 12 on the B, 8 on the high E, 12, 10 on the B. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, now once again we left off on this A note on the 10th fret, but we're gonna come back in with it, but starting with our index finger. So it's gonna be 10, 12, 13 on the B, this next group of 6. 10 on the high E, back 13 and 12 on the B. Okay, and that's the first 3 groups of 6. The next one, just like we have been doing, we'll start with the same note we left off on, but we'll start with this B with our index finger, and it'll be 12, 13, 15. And this time we're going to go straight up the scale. So it's 12, 13, 15 on the B, 12, 14, 15 on the high E. And we'll resolve to this note at the 12th fret high E string. So that whole run at a medium tempo would be this. Once again, how we get there is kind of a lead in with that G note there, okay? On the 8th fret on the B string. All right, and so that will take us to our next part. So once we resolve to this E, we're going to play 14, 15 on the high E, bend that up a whole step, 15. So, and then lower the 15th fret back to your starting point, pull off to 12, and then resolve to 13 on the B string. Okay, so after this last group of 6 on that fast drum, okay, and that's targeting the chord too. So right there is where the C note pops in, C chord. After that, we're going to play this again, following the chord progression. 15 to 12 on the high E, pull off. 14 on the B. There's your C sharp note, which follows the chord progression. So here we go. Okay, the next move, we're going to slide up to 17. And that's just right out of the E minor pentatonic. Slide 17 on the B. And then we're going to go 15 on the high E, back to 17 on the B string. So let's see, coming out of this, and then we're going to bend 17 on the high E, up a whole step, release it, pull off to 15, and then place, repick 17 on the high E with a heavy dose of vibrato. Okay, the next move is pick 15 again on the high E, up to 19 with your pinky, pull off from 19 to 15, and then resolve to 17 on the B string. So hopefully you're getting how this is all coming together here. Okay, and then this next part after this, we're going to play 17 again on the B, 14, hammer on to 15, back to 14 on the high E, 15, on the high E, and then 17. So, okay, hopefully that makes sense. And then we're gonna start to get to the finishing point of the solo, kind of the high point of the solo into the descending run of the solo. So this part is 19 to 22, bend 22 up a whole step, release it, and then pick it again with heavy vibrato. Okay, so let's play this, let's play it from the fast run all the way through up to here, and then we'll finish this off with the last fast run. All right, now the last fast run here is starting out on the 20th fret B string, and what we're going to do is kind of slide into it with the ring finger. You could use your pinky here too. I'm using the ring. Then go over to the 17th fret on the high E, and we're going to play the sequence here, and that's pulling off from 20 to 19 to 17, 19 to 17. This is all like a one big legato run here. And then we're going to play 20 on the B, and then we're going to pick 17 on the high E 3 times. And then we're going to play 20, 19, 17 on the B and pull that off. So okay, and then we're going to shift positions. Whoops. Okay, so it's a pretty big shift. Once you get done with this run here, we're going to shift positions all the way to 15 on the B string, and it's 15, 13, 12 on the B, 13, 12 again. So once you get to 13, 12, then go 14 on the G, back to 12 on the B, 14, 12, slide to 11 on the G, and end on 14 on the D string. And that's your root note. All right, and that's the whole solo. Such a really cool piece to learn. Good luck with that. Check in the description again for the tab if you have any questions about which notes go where. And make sure and grab that free sweep picking guide. And go listen to some Queensryche and some Chris DeGarmo. Those first 5 records are great. Support the band. They're still kicking, both camps. And the world's better with Queensryche. So anyways, enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Rock on.